on the inside.
They're racing now, and they've gone away in a reasonable line. Corvea and Love's Choice away quickly. Deeper out on the track, Fitzgerald began well, and also Rosebird, the widest runner, Tickle the Ivories. And hunting up on the inside, Tempted Lady, dropping back behind them, Educate Dover Street. And Wild and Hot going a little ungenerously, about 5 off the fences. They work towards the 1200-metre corner. Here, Love's Choice in front, but Tickle the Ivories whips around the outside to take it on now and head it off. A length away third, then comes Fitzgerald. Around it was Rosebird. On the inside, Tempted Lady. Corvea back behind those, a length and a half to Educate, who's on the outside, Wild and Hot from Dover Street. And Educate now dropped out a length and a half away at the tail. Down towards the 850 metres they swing, and the leader, Tickle the Ivories, held together by a half length. The Love's Choice out 3 deep, Rosebird. A length and a half further back, Fitzgerald on the outside there of Tempted Lady, followed by Corvea. Then a length to Wild and Hot on the inside, Dover Street, and still last of all, but now commencing a run is Educate as they race up towards the 600-metre mark. Tickle the Ivories, Love's Choice, and on the outside, Rosebird. Corvea getting to fourth, then Fitzgerald hard ridden. On the outside of those then was Wild and Hot. Prime Educator's got a job to do. Behind it, Tempted Lady, and now Dover Street at the tail as they head towards the turn now inside the 400-metre mark. Love's Choice just in front on the outside, Rosebird. 3 deep, Corvea, now Educate starting to work into it. Fitzgerald is under pressure, followed by Wild and Hot, Dover Street as they corner 250 out, and Rosebird and Love's Choice bump here, but Educate very quickly moved up on the outside to head them off, and away goes Educate. Corvea battling away, but Educate's got this one 100 metres out. Clear interest in the minors. Dover Street running on strongly, Love's Choice and Rosebird, but Educate bolts in by 3.5. Second, Dover Street, I think Rosebird third from Love's Choice. Then Corvea, Fitzgerald pretty ordinary, Tempted Lady, Wild and Hot, and last in was Tickle the Ivories.
Winner there, number 4, Educate, to pay 280, 130. Number 8, Dover Street at 13.70, and third to 7, Rosebird, to pay 370.
4 Educate, 270, 130. 8 Dover Street, 12.70. 7 Rosebird, 450.
Full of horse there. They took off before Educate was keen to go, or Gauci was keen to go. Corvea, and also around the outside was Fitzgerald, but they, particularly Fitzgerald, couldn't sustain it. Corvea raced up to join the lead on the turn, but Educate joined in as if he'd been hiding behind the BMW sign over there near the 350, and he's absolutely walked in.
More from Brian shortly. Here's Fred.
Thanks, Les. First race, Victoria.
Well, they're off this time, and Deep Snip immediately dropped out the back in company with Magic and Our Banker, and Clearly Chosen runs to the lead from Dibbles, Dane and Dead Mandy, and caught out wide as Gullible, followed by Monee's Cove, Foramore, and then Brettick, 2 lengths to Our Banker. Deep Snip ahead back on his inside, and 4 lengths to Magic. Racing along the back of the course, and the leader is Clearly Chosen, 3/4 to a length on Dibbles, Dane. Gullible wide out third from Ed Mandy and Monee's Cove. 3 to Foramore on the inside of Brettick with 1,000 to go. Deep Snip on the inside of Our Banker, and 5 lengths to Magic. Clearly Chosen leads as they race onto the side. About a length on Dibbles, Dane, Ed Mandy on the inside of Gullible, and then Monee's Cove, Brettick, followed by Foramore, who's drifted back. A gap of a length to Deep Snip, awkwardly placed on the inside of Our Banker, and Magic's about to tack on. Clearly Chosen making play at the 600, a half length on Dibbles, Dane. Third posse is Ed Mandy, and on the outside a half back is the Hot Pot Gullible, and then Monee's Cove, Brettick, followed by Foramore. Deep Snip getting away from the rails. Our Banker is outside, and 2 to Magic under the stick as they straighten up, and Dibbles Dane went to the lead. 3:50 to go. Dibbles Dane a length and a half. Ed Mandy and Gullible, followed then by Clearly Chosen, dropping off. Monee's Cove is coming into it, and then Brettick and Deep Snip down to the 200 marker. Gullible struggles. Ed Mandy got to Dibbles Dane, Monee's Cove, and Deep Snip on the outside. Ed Mandy, Dibbles Dane fighting back. Monee's Cove won't go on. Dibbles Dane, he found a second wind. He's got to come away and win. Dibbles Dane from Ed Mandy. Deep Snip third, fourth Monee's Cove, then Gullible, Foramore, Brettick, followed by Magic. Our Banker second last, and the early leader walked home to be Stone Motherless, Clearly Chosen. Well, they got to him in the home section about the 200, but he refused to give in the Dane. And he's been able to score and pay 6.30 and 2.10. Second placing going to 10 Ed Mandy, 3.90. And third will go to 2 Deep Snip at $2.30. Dibbles Dane, trained by Anthony Cummings, always in touch with the lead, ridden by little Len Beasley. Owners are H. Diebull, Mrs. J.A. and G.A. Ogg, and P.D. Dunn. A bay gelding 4 by this incredible horse, Dane Hill, from Dandy Stepper. And Dibbles Dane has clocked 1:28.33.
6.10, 190 on Super Tab for number 4. 10 Ed Mandy, 4.10, and 2 Deep Snip to pay 2.10.
It looked a fleeting chance. Our banker was never a hope. Gullible, well, he was 3 and 4 wide all the way, and that was the end of him. Ed Mandy was always handy and battled on, and Clearly Chosen made play until they straightened up, and that was the end of Clearly Chosen. You heard.
They're racing. They've broken in a perfect line near the inside. Dane Quillo, It's a Dane, and also Manhattan Von away quickly from a deep barrier going up Bohemian Melody. Behind them, Rockslad, then comes Accused. Now, Cairns Love is back last and second last, True Response. 800 out, and over on the outside, Manhattan Von goes to a clear lead now by a length and a half to It's a Dane and Dane Quillo. Dropping back the fourth, 2 away then was Bohemian Melody on the inside, Rockslad. Then comes Accused to the outside, Cairns Love and True Response on the fence. Up before the corner now at the 550. And Manhattan Von 2 in front of Dane Quillo. The leader being ridden along. It's a Dane is third, waiting for the run from Bohemian Melody. Then Rockslad trying to get away from the inside. Got cut out there from Cairns Love. Accused is deep. And True Response as they corner. Manhattan Von still clear here. Childs goes for the whip, and so too under the whip is It's a Dane from Dane Quillo. Wider out Accused, and then comes Cairns Love, but Manhattan Von clear with 100 metres left to go. They're not going to reach it. Dane Quillo and Rockslad late, but Manhattan Von makes it 2 on end. Scores 2.5 to Dane Quillo. Rockslad third, then Accused. It's a Dane. Pretty Ordinary had the run of the race from Cairns Love. Bohemian Melody dropped out, and last of all was True Response.
Number 3, Manhattan Von, 440, 150. Number 6, Dane Quillo at 270. 7 for third, Rockslad, and it'll pay a dividend of 380.
3 Manhattan Von, 390, 150. 6 Dane Quillo, 290. 7 Rockslad, 460.
Over 6, Dane Quillo, and 7, Rockslad. 3, 6 and 7.
The second race at Victoria.
And they're off and running in the second here at Rosehill Gardens, and best to break the line, Ceto Stayer from El Zabana. Western approaches third, then Step Dancer wider out, followed by Hedge, Chosen Warrior, Sovereign Kite, Carla Chief over the rising, and 4 or 5 Praise Indeed. Racing along past the 1700 metres, and Ceto Stayer shows out about a length or so on Step Dancer. Third is El Zabana, and Western approaches the inside fourth. The Canberra horse is pretty wide, Chosen Warrior, then Hedge, Sovereign Kite, followed by Carla Chief. Over the rising is second last, and 5 or 6 lengths to Praise Indeed. Ceto Stayer, nothing taking him on, and past the 1400 entering the back. Ceto Stayer's keen to run. He's nearly 2 lengths now on Step Dancer. Western approaches third, and at his girth on the outside, quarters in fact now, is El Zabana. 2 lengths to Hedge and Chosen Warrior by the 1200. Another 2 lengths to Sovereign Kite around Carla Chief. Over the rising next to last, and tacking onto the field is Praise Indeed. They head down to the 1000 marker. There's no change in the order, and Ceto Stayer and the rider on the same, Rod Quinn, allowed to dictate terms to suit himself, and Ceto Stayer by 2 Step Dancer. 3/4 to Western approaches, then El Zabana, followed by Sovereign Kite, Hedge, a gap then to Chosen Warrior. Praise Indeed has passed 2 as they come down the side there, Carla Chief and over the rising. Starting to bunch up now, nearing the 600 pole, and Ceto Stayer being taken on by Step Dancer, and Sovereign Kite going up to make a line of 3 as they travel in the direction of the corner. El Zabana is fourth, followed wider out Praise Indeed. Western approaches the inside from Hedge. Chosen Warriors drop back sharply from Carla Chief and over the rising as they straighten up, and Ceto Stayer about a neck clear. Step Dancer second. El Zabana called upon now to put in his claim. Carla Chief going up on the inside, and Die can't get out on Western approaches, and then Praise Indeed. 200 to go. Plenty of hopes. Western approaches into the clear. Ceto Stayer from Western approaches. El Zabana, Carla Chief and Praise Indeed, but Western approaches hits the front, and Western approaches, I reckon, might have just beaten Praise Indeed. Nothing in it for third. We've got El Zabana wider out and right up there over the rising from Carla Chief, Ceto Stayer. Further back in the field came Hedge, and then Chosen Warrior, Sovereign Kite, and the last in was Step Dancer.
Close goes. 3 Western approaches. Ian fancies to get it there. 480, 180, or 2 Praise Indeed at 830, 270.
With the naked eye from where we stand past the post, it looks like Western approaches, but by gee, you can't sell this horse on the outside lightly. Praise Indeed, you can't sell him lightly. The ground shot is taken a fraction past the post and pointers to Western Approaches, but then you've got to allow for the outsider horse, and it's very, very tight between Western Approaches, number 3, and he's won it. Yep, he's got there, number 3. Number 3 is the winner, Western Approaches, 420 and 170. Number 2, Praise Indeed, written by J. Powell, has run second at $2.10. And number 6 is third, and that is Over the Rising, written by Stephen King. And the dividend is $4.60.
4.30 on Super Tab. 326 Sydney.
The winner, Western Approaches. By gee, would have been something Lick had he not got there. By the same token, by Western Symphony from Sea Pictures, trained by Gay Waterhouse. One of only 2 runners that Gay has here today for Mrs. KM, KR and RF Webb and SRS Burgess. Likes the Rosehill track, this horse. 38 starts, 9 wins, 3 seconds and 4 thirds. And Shane Dye, the winning rider.
And they're racing now. They've broken away in a good line. Spellmaker first out. Minimal away quickly, and also Classic Secret going to third from Jugar Seal. Major Fun drifting back into the field, going past it. Wajib Star on the inside. Hamlet followed by Dewoucher. And Nautilism is back at the tail. The leader, Spellmaker, clearly running down towards the 800 metres by a length and a half. Second placing Minimal now getting a little bit closer. On the outside, Wajib Star deep around Jugar Seal. On the rails, Classic Secret, another 2.5 to Hamlet going greenly and hanging around that corner. Dewoucher on the inside as Major Fun goes deep, and Nautilism in the centre, heading up towards the 600 metres, and Spellmaker travelling sweetly. Just on a length, the Minimal third placing Wajib Star as Major Fun makes ground quickly to fourth. Then Hamlet on the inside, Classic Secret losing ground, Jugar Seal from Nautilism, and Dewoucher dropped out to the tail. Spellmaker, though, travels sweetly on the turn, 3 parts of a length to Minimal. They're 3 in front of Major Fun. These 2 leaders have got right away, and further back, Wajib Star. Spellmaker under pressure. Minimal hands and heels on the outside has gone up quickly to join it with 150 to go, and Minimal took the lead from Spellmaker, well clear of Major Fun, and then Hamlet running on. He knows nothing about it yet, though, but Minimal comes away and scores comfortably by 2.5 lengths to Spellmaker. Third, Major Fun, then Hamlet. Put him in the black book, though, from Wajib Star, Nautilism, then Classic Secret, Jugar Seal and Dewoucher last in.
Winner there, number 3, Minimal, to pay 480, 150, 1 Spellmaker, 120, 2 Major Fun, 130.
3 Minimal, 470, 160, 1 Spellmaker, 130, and 2 Major Fun, 130.
First on Educate. I suppose you'd call him at the moment the quiet achiever, Darren Gouchy. There's
3-1-2. They're at the Barrier Gold Coast race 2 winner. 2.
Okay, and we'll be going.
Off. Immediately, Nick's Magic dropped out to last, and is going to be Elf racing to the early lead, about a half length or so on Laurie's Lottery. Third position taken by Electrifying, followed closely by St. Plato on the inside. Then Pete Bog, 2 lengths to a Glacier, being pushed along by Cassidy, and then Pleasant Air, and 6 lengths to Nick's Magic, past the 750 and the New Zealander Elf. 3/4 Laurie's Lottery. St. Plato 3/4 back the inside, 1 Electrifying, 1.5 a Glacier inside Pete Bog, a bit more than a length to Pleasant Air, and 3 or 4 lengths to Nick's Magic as they come down the side. Linking up with the 600 in the Todman Trial and Elf. The New Zealand Magic Millions winner leads a length and a half. Laurie's Lottery, 2 lengths, and Plato Electrifying. Cassidy working overtime on a Glacier. Pleasant Air's gone past it. On the outside, Pete Bog went backwards, and 2 to Nick's Magic. Straightening up, and Laurie's Lottery out after Elf. Toowoomba and to New Zealand. 2 lengths, and Plato. A Glacier is on the extreme outside, and still about 5 lengths off Laurie's Lottery and Elf. A 2-horse war. Elf the inside, boring out on Laurie's Lottery. Elf is running Laurie's Lottery off the track. Elf and Laurie's Lottery go down to the line, locked together, dead heat. Laurie's Lottery, Elf from a Glacier third, followed home then by St. Plato, and then came Pete Bog on the inside. Next in the race was Nick's Magic, second last being Pleasant Air, and last Electrifying. Well, if he doesn't get the photo, I refer to the Toowoomba horse Laurie's Lottery. He'll get it on protest.
Okay, 2 Laurie's Lottery, $3, 130. The other one in it, 3 Elf at 650 to even, and 1 Glacier, 120 for third.
Come out onto Laurie's Lottery. The 2 of them were out of stride coming down to the line. And it was a ding-donger as the post has been reached. And Laurie's Lottery will probably just get there, and has. Number 2 is the winner, Laurie's Lottery, ridden by R.S. Dye. Number 2 is the winner, Laurie's Lottery, ridden by R.S. Dye at 270 and 130. Number 3 is second, and that is Alf, ridden by Stephen King, has paid $2. And number 1, a Glacier, a disappointing third, ridden by Jim Cassidy. Well, maybe the edge is off him. He's paid $1.20. Maybe the edge is off him for 1,200 metres now. And he only plugged down the straight. It was a 2-horse war from the 300 marker. The horses were out of stride. Alf got the wobbles. He came out onto Laurie's Lottery, and had the verdict gone to the New Zealander, he wouldn't have had it for very long. It would have been taken off him in the steward's room.
It's the journey. Metres, and they're racing now. They've gone away fairly. Sea Outlaw missed it. One of the first out was Prince Standan, with Western Outlaw and Rusty Saint on the inside kicking up. To hold the other pair out, Sav Rocker is travelling fourth, one away from the rails, keeping Galilean out a little bit deep. Already they've established a break of 3 lengths over Prince Humble from Alien Fella, and Sea Outlaw is last as they leave the straight. Going towards the 1600, Rusty Saint in front. Prince Standan a little bit deep on the turn out of the straight as he moves up to join Rusty Saint, and they've opened a break of 6 lengths over Western Outlaw, 2 to Sav Rocker, 2.5 away Galilean, about 5 or 6 to Prince Humble, Alien Fella, and last of all is Sea Outlaw down towards the 1300 metre mark, and Prince Standan now takes a clear lead, and Childs tries to steady it. It's 2 in front of Rusty Saint, Western Outlaw third, a length away Sav Rocker, almost onto the heels there of Western Outlaw, and a drop back 2 lengths away again from Galilean, 2.5 Alien Fella on the outside of Prince Humble, and last of all is Sea Outlaw. Along the back they swing now with 1100 metres to go, and Prince Standan 2 in front of Rusty Saint, 2 to Western Outlaw, 3 to Sav Rocker, 2.5 then Prince Humble, around in a neck away Galilean, and the last pair are Alien Fella on the outside of Sea Outlaw. 850 metres out, they're about to come off the back, and Prince Standan a neck in front of Rusty Saint, who's gone up again to join him in the lead. A further 2.5 then to Western Outlaw, looks to be going okay, followed by Sav Rocker to the outside, then Prince Humble. Further back Galilean hooking deep as Alien Fella, and Sea Outlaw is last of all. They've got 700 metres to go. Prince Standan a neck in front of Rusty Saint, now making its run Western Outlaw, 4 deep Sav Rocker, 5 deep then as Alien Fella as they head to the turn, 2 away Galilean running on and dropping off Prince Humble. Prince Standan trying to respond here. Western Outlaw on the outside, and Prince Standan clear of Sav Rocker, a half length away, and coming out now is Galilean to make its run. Prince Standan under extreme pressure as Western Outlaw took a clear lead. The favourite's gone. Sav Rocker quickly gets to Western Outlaw, and Galilean with the last crack at them. In front, Sav Rocker with 100 to go. Galilean on the outside is getting to him though. Galilean and Sav Rocker boring out just in front of Galilean. Sav Rocker's won, but he's come right away from the inside. He's beaten Galilean by probably a short neck. Third placing Western Outlaw, then Alien Fella. Prince Standan next from Prince Humble, then Rusty Saint, and last in was Sea Outlaw.
Number 2 there, Sav Rocker, 470, 170, 1 Galilean, 190, and for third, number 4, Western Outlaw at $1.90.
2 Sav Rocker, 460, 150, 1 Galilean, 180, 4 Western Outlaw, 180.
He's beaten Galilean, who looked sure and certain to beat him at the 100 metre mark. And he's just run out of steam, Galilean. Sav Rocker did bore out, but there wasn't yeah, the margin's a bit closer than what I thought it was too. They didn't get really close, but it did shift out very, very badly. Sav Rocker over the last 100 metres of the race. 2, 1 and 4 in the frame. Number 2.
Right about to move in at the Gold Coast.
Following that, we have Adelaide race number 4 at 2.
Off and racing, and by golly, what a great start. Prairie and Only a Lady tending to drift back a little, and Dantalar leads the way from Amber. Arletty third, and Rose of Danehill fourth from Camino Rose, Blue Storm and Will Fly. A length further back is Staging, and then comes Stella Cadente, followed closely by Cybele. In that pack of horses, 2 is Greeting. Over on the inside is On Air, a length the Stonyfell Road. Well back is Shindig in company with Prairie, and Only a Lady brings up the rear. Past the 1,000 on the grey, Dantalar leads the way from Amber. Rose of Danehill third, Arletty fourth, and Blue Storm deep fifth. A length Camino Rose followed closely by Will Fly. Staging can't get on the track from On Air, Cybele. Stella Cadente is out very, very wide, followed on the inside by Only a Lady. A length and a half further back is Prairie, followed closely by Greeting, Stonyfell Road, and a length and a half to Shindig. The Coolmore Classic field is racing to the corner. 500 to go, and Dantalar the leader. 3/4 of a length on Amber. A length the Rose of Danehill coming around the leader's heels, followed by Arletty on air on the inside, followed by Camino Rose, and then Blue Storm at a gap to Will Fly. Down to the 250 they travel, and Dantelar the inside in front. Camino Rose gets a split and throws down the gauntlet with Amber, but Camino Rose hits the front. Stella Cadente wider out, and even deeper is Shindig. Look at Shindig. She's flying. She's going to win the Classic. Another one for Maxie Lees. Shindig from Camino Rose or Stella Cadente. And then came On Air, followed home by Blue Storm staging, greeting Amber, Only a Lady, and then came Arletty, followed by Prairie Sybil. Good margin off next was Rose of Danehill, Will Fly, Stonyfell Road, and last of all in the field, Dantelar.
On the Super Tab, 13 Shindig, 21.50, 6.20, 15 Camino Rose to return 8.40, and 6 Stella Cadente 2.90.
For the place. That was Maz's long shot on 2KY yesterday morning. Take a bow, dear lady. Shindig, number 13, has been able to score. And the second and third placings, the judge might have a close look at the computer image. He'll show number 15 Camino Rose for second at 7.10, and Stella Cadente number 6 will be third, and it'll pay a dividend of $2.90. Those numbers are official: 13, 15 and 6.
Treble on 3-2-13 to return $624.
The phrase these days when we don't have photo finishes at major tracks, it's just a computerised colour image, and the judge looking closely to work out the superfecta in New South Wales. 13, 15, 6. Shindig, trained by Max Lees. By gosh, hasn't he got a great record in this? He won it 2 years ago with Chlorophyll, John Marshall. He won it with Flitter, Jimmy Cassidy. He won it with Quicksilver Cindy, Darren Beatman. He won it with Satin Sad, Jimmy Cassidy. And now with Shindig, ridden by Len Beasley. The winner by Straight Strike from Saving a Brown Mare 5, and bred by the Shoreham Park Proprietary Limited in New Zealand. And the owners of Shindig are Jane, Mrs. S.E. Suduk, and Miss P.E. Duncan.
Moving up Queanbeyan.
Now here are the superfecta numbers coming up. Well, I've got the first 5. Let's see if we can get the 6th elsewhere. 13, 15, 6, 7, 10, and oh, goodness me.
OK, we'll get more from Ian shortly. Race 4.
Racing. They've come away in a good line. Champagne bump with Welcome Aboard as they came out of the stall. Snow Beauty on the inside away quickly with La Volta deeper out, and Spot of Magic. One of the roughies is going to come across the face of the field and lead them at the judges' box with a round to go. Then Gliding Light, Welcome Aboard. Back to third last, Kensington Palace, Lahara, and last of all is Protege. They lead the straight now, 1,700 metres to go, and Spot of Magic opens up a break of 2.5 over Champagne to second. Snow Beauty third on the inside. The rider trying to get it to come back underneath him. It wants to go at the moment. Out deeper then is La Volta. In the centre, Gliding Light, and on the inside, Welcome Aboard. 3 parts, Kensington Palace, Lahar, and last of all is Protege inside the 1,400, and the leader, Spot of Magic, 2.5, Champagne. La Volta can't get in, so it goes forward. Snow Beauty back to fourth on the inside from Gliding Light, 1 away from the inside, Welcome Aboard. A half length to Kensington Palace, and back at the tail, the grey Protege, and the other grey Lahar as they go into the back. 1,200 metres out, and Spot of Magic now 4 or 5 in front of La Volta, 2 to Champagne. 3 parts away, Snow Beauty over on the inside from Gliding Light. A little over a length and a half then to Welcome Aboard, being joined by Kensington Palace. And still last of all is Protege inside at Lahar. They swing by the 900 and the leader, Spot of Magic, 6 or 7 in front of La Volta, who's got the job of carting the field up. 2.5 to Champagne. Then comes on the outside Gliding Light, followed by Snow Beauty. Kensington Palace 8 off the leader as they come down the side with Welcome Aboard, Protege and Lahar. 700 metres out, and Spot of Magic 4 or 5 in front of La Volta. Champagne third, followed by Gliding Light under pressure. 2 lengths further back then to Kensington Palace, followed on the inside of it by Snow Beauty, who is trying to make a run. On the rails comes Welcome Aboard, and then Lahara as they come to the turn. Spot of Magic in front, La Volta. Champagne now coming out 3 deep, making its run, closing Kensington Palace, but it's under the whip. With it, Gliding Light, then Welcome Aboard. Champagne out deep, took the lead at the 200-metre mark from La Volta. Kensington Palace under the whip, and then comes Gliding Light, but Champagne clear. Kensington Palace on the outside is responding. Champagne in front, Kensington Palace coming. Champagne stopping, it's in front, near home, it's just one, I think. Champagne, I think, has just beat Kensington Palace. Third in either Gliding Light or La Volta. then Spot of Magic, followed by Protege, Welcome Aboard, Lahar, and last in Snow Beauty.
If it's number 2, Champagne, 290, 130, or 1 Kensington Palace, 210, 110, third 3, Gliding Light, 260.
2 Champagne, 310, 120, 1 Kensington Palace, $1 the place, and those for third 3 Gliding Light at 260 or 6 La Volta 240.
Photo called for. It's desperately tight here. Champagne hanging on grimly. And all the other ones made an absolute dive at it right on the line. Kensington Palace.
Reckway, Newcastle.
Oh, gee. It's a nose either way. To the naked eye, it looked as if it may have just lasted Champagne, but I'm going to back off now. Gee, this is nearly a dead heat. And it's made an absolute dive right on the post, Kensington Palace. And just looking at the print here, there's a chance the judge mightn't be able to split these. What a fitting finish it will be if that is the case here, with Greg Childs taking off around the turn, getting a big break on Kensington Palace. It's a dead heat. It's a dead heat. Well, there's the result that I think no one's going to argue about, with Champagne getting the break, Kensington Palace some 3 lengths behind it. And to the naked eye, as I said, right on the line, it looked as if it had just lasted Champagne, but it's got the stride in here.
Right, moving into the coast.
And we'll stand by for that third number in Melbourne. Moving up the Gold Coast, Adelaide update.
White, new class record time, Odysseus. About an extra 10,000 jumped in on top of the prize and the trophy. Now, these are coming up a little quicker now. Just can't afford these sort of delays this day and age with so many meetings covered from all around the country. Now, there's the New Zealander My King's Hero going in. Aces Royal is about to come up. Don't Imbibe is set. In the logo colours, Dara him. He's not racing in the Shakes colours today. Smee again's gone up. Neptune Star fills its stall with Gift Tenery, Aces Royale and Concordat. Now here's another one coming up the hind. Beijing Soy goes up. David Tootle over there chatting with the veterinary surgeon, Dr. Robbie Robinson. And he'd be a little dejected, I would think, David, because she was a genuine chance in the race. The Victorian Mustang Red goes in. The Kiwi My King's Hero is set. Beijing Soy is ready. Madonna's gone up. Now Dry Shane to come along, and that should be about it. Port Lincoln racing tomorrow, 8 event card. Classy Babe is back in the enclosure, I notice, so the track is cleared. As Dry Shane completes the line, depleted by the late scratching of 12 Classy Babe. Set. General Havelock, Adelaide Guineas. They're off and caught them nicely. Gift Tenery away quickly from the inside, and so too is Cubicle, and also Concordat showing good early speed. Mustang Red's up there in the fray early, and also Neptune Star going through along the inside looking for the lead. Wider out around them, Data him improving around Aces Royale, a stablemate, and they were followed in that division too as they start to sort themselves out by Cubicle just shuffling back inside of Aces Royale. Further back in the field behind those then came Showy, who's racing deep around them. Beijing Soy was there, Madonna the inside, and further back in the field behind those then came the hind. Smee again, and last of all is Dry Shane. On the outer track at the 1,000 metres.